Alright, so today's video I'm going to be discussing bulking versus main gaining, which is the better option, who should bulk and who should main gain. And I've been training for nearly 5 years. This September would make 5 years of lifting, so I've gathered a crap ton of knowledge. I've tested things out. I figured out which is the best option, and I actually did a crazy bulk for the first time recently just because I've made countless of videos and many of you guys did not agree with me. And that's fine, we all have opinions, but let me remind you that I'm making these videos because I want to help. I'm not benefiting off these videos in the sense that I'm not benefiting lying to you guys. There's no reason for me to lie. I'm just giving you guys my opinion. I'm giving you guys what I've seen works with me and other people because I've trained other people. So I'm gonna quickly settle this debate for you guys right now. Let's get straight to the video. And if you stick around, I would appreciate if you guys could subscribe to the channel and add the notifications because we've been uploading videos twice a week now, making it higher quality, and it keeps us going. And we're not making any money off this, so it does support us. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. And if you have any other questions regarding anything, comment down below. We always respond to every single comment. So let's get straight to the video right now. Let's talk about bulking. So bulking is essentially when you eat more calories because you want to put on more size. So muscle is like the number one priority that we want. We want to put on size, and we don't mind neglecting adding on body fat because that's what's going to happen. When you eat more than your body needs, your body has more energy. So you put on more muscle, but you also put on excess amount of fat. This is like storage, that's part of the game. And most people, they say they want to start off lean bulking, which is essentially a small calorie surplus. But in reality, once you get there, you will end up adding more food size, you become more lazy, and you're more free to do whatever you want. You start, neglecting the healthy foods, you start eating more crappy foods, and then you end up stop tracking your calories, and then you end up dirty bulking. We could pretend that this doesn't happen, but it does happen to almost every single person. And I know in the comments, people are gonna be like, oh, but I always lean bulk. But the truth is, it happens to almost everyone. You're not special. It happens to me. It happens to everyone. Your favorite influencers, it happened to them. And that's the biggest issue when it comes to bulking, because when you bulk, you put on lots of size, but we end up going too far. We end up being in a higher calorie deficit, thinking we could put on more muscle. But in reality, we're just putting on the same amount of muscle with more fat, which actually puts you in the bigger problem. When you end up leaning out, you end up realizing that you have put on an excess amount of body fat, which puts you in a difficult situation because you have a time frame to get shredded, and you end up speed running it, meaning that you are in a bigger deficit and you end up cutting through muscle. So all the new muscle that you put on, you will end up losing that muscle because of how fast you were going, because of all the excess fat and the amount of time frame requires to cut through, if that makes sense. So I've been saying main gaining was the better option. Why? Because unlike bulking, you are staying at a nice, healthy, shredded physique all year round, and you're constantly at a consistent muscle growth state, which means you're constantly putting on muscle versus putting on muscle, then stopping and potentially losing muscle, then putting on muscle again. Yes, we put on more muscle when you bulk. Yes, of course. Will you possibly lose some of that muscle when you bulk? When you cut down? Probably. Just be real. Most people don't cut properly. They don't properly, add a small deficit. They're not patient. They want to be shredded quickly. Listen, I'm the same as you guys. I was the same thing until I realized that cutting quickly is bad for you. So that's why I started main gaining, and I realized that main gaining was the best option till I started bulking. Because one thing I noticed is that I've been training for nearly 5 years, right? And I thought putting on muscle would get harder over time. But I did a proper long bulk. This would be a year of bulking practically. And I've noticed that I have put on quite a substantial amount of muscle. Bulking, you can put on a lot more muscle. And if you cut properly, you may be able to out-benefit the main gaining situation. But then again, is it worth doing all this, adding high body fat and low body fat? It really depends on you. So my opinion will stay the same, that main gaining is the better option, just because I want to stay at a constant lean physique. I want to look good all year round, because when I'm at a bulked physique, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the size increase in the sense that it doesn't benefit me, because if I'm still at a higher body fat and I'm bigger in size, doesn't make me happy. I would much rather stay lean and become bigger slowly at a constant growth. But there are people that don't care about this stuff. There are people that want to put on as much muscle as they can. They don't care about having abs, but they probably had abs all their life. They want to get rid of the abs and focus on putting on size. So the real answer is bulking versus bulking and cutting versus main gaining depends on the individual. For me, main gaining is the better option, but for some of my friends, I've noticed that they prefer bulking because they're so skinny their whole entire life, and main gaining is just not enough extra calories to, make them grow. So they require it to bulk. So if you are someone that has been skinny all your life and you don't care about giving up your abs, again, you don't have to dirty bulk. You could do a lean bulk where you probably lose a bit of your abs, but you can still retain it. Then that's fine. Go for the bulk. Put on as much size as you want, Perhaps they want to maintain that size instead of getting even leaner. But if you're someone like me that's used to be fat all his life, you don't want to become fatter again, you don't want to lose your abs, you want to look good all year round, and you don't mind putting muscle slowly, but you're constantly putting on muscle versus the 6 months you're bulking and then 4 months you're off bulking. You're constantly going to be putting on muscle. I would stick with main gaining because it is a healthier option. You're not changing a diet, you're sticking to the same thing, and you're looking good all year round. That's what I used to do for 2 years. And once I get back to the body fat that I'm happy with, I'm gonna stay with that body fat and not change anything. So that's a very quick bulking versus cutting video because let's face it, I think main gaining is the better option, but let's just say so-and-so prefers bulking. I can't sit there and say bulking is bad, you should not bulk, because bulking does have its benefits. You do put on muscle easier, you have more energy, you can lift more weight, you will become bigger in a t-shirt, you'll fill out easy. I just don't care about these stuff. I just care about looking good and putting on how healthy amount of muscle and staying strong throughout versus being strong one day and then cutting and losing some muscle and being weak. But again, some people like that. So I'm not gonna sit here and say all these things. So the whole purpose of this video is to actually say, hey, I started bulking for the first time. I get why people like bulking. Will I stick to bulking? Absolutely fucking not. I'm gonna stick with main gaining, but I understand why people bulk. And when I train people, I will understand their needs and suggest bulking when it's needed to. So this is the whole point of this video. Bulking and cutting and main gaining are great tools, but they're for different people. So this is the part of the video where you guys decide, what am I good for? What is the best option for me? If you don't know, you can comment down below. You can ask me for the comments. I could help you guys out. If not, if you want a more in-depth tutorial, you could DM me shreds on Instagram. We could get to work and I could change your life. I've been training so many people and I'm natural, 100% natural. I don't train steroid users and there's nothing wrong with taking PDs, but I'm just being natural and I don't know that world. So if you want help, DM me shreds on Instagram. I'll pop the link down below and we could get to work. Alright, so that is the end of the YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was a little conversation about bulking versus main gaining. A lot has changed. I used to hate bulking, but I understand why people do it. Does that change anything for me? Well, yeah, I mean, I have respect for people that bulk. I understand why people do it, but I will still never bulk. I think main gaining is the ultimate way to look aesthetically appealing and grow. So anyways, that's just my opinion, but if you have any questions regarding anything, DM me, I always answer. You can follow me on my TikTok at Penuti, Instagram at Penuti with 2 eyes, and subscribe to the channel. This is a great way to support us, to make better quality videos and to constantly make videos. I'm not making any money off this channel, so it does help knowing that I have people enjoying the videos. So next video will be coming out on Thursday, so I'll see you guys then. Peace, boys.